I'm Rick Griggs, and I want to talk to you about a tool that combines role-playing and brainstorming. I call it Rolestorming. It came about a few years ago when I worked in Silicon Valley at companies like National Semiconductor and Intel Corporation. My job was productivity manager and training manager later, where I brought people together. We used brainstorming and lots of other tools to kind of get people who were smart, employed by the corporation, making pretty good money, trying to get them to help us with ideas that would solve issues within the organization. And I noticed something. We'd start going around and people that I knew had more ideas would say, I'm out of ideas, I don't know what else to say. I've kind of run dry. And I had a hunch there was some other reason people were running out of ideas. And I think those related to fear of just general fear, fear of being embarrassed, fear of ridicule. So I tried something. I had them play a role. And when they played a role like a Napoleon or like a Julius Caesar or like a Joan of Arc, and in that role they had to brainstorm ideas about the issue at hand, the skies opened up. It was amazing. We doubled the number of ideas usually in our sessions. So these videos are meant to take you from the Rolestorming 101 level all the way to the PhD level of Rolestorming. And we're going to do it like this. There are 8 items I'd like to cover with you over the next set of videos, and they include things like the profile statement, where you write down exactly what the group's trying to cover. The order of operations, where it's kind of like that mathematical rule where you do what's in the parentheses first. Well, with Rolestorming, we have a series of things you should do on what to focus on with your profile statements. Next comes the type of roles that a facilitator will assign to the group. There's the saint, the sinner, and the winner roles. Wait till you see that video. You're going to enjoy that. The next item is called emotional contagion. It's when one person has an emotion and it gets relayed onto another person, and they call that emotional contagion, and it has a place in Rolestorming. The event boundary is when you get up from one room and you're going to go somewhere to look for whatever it is you want to look for, and you completely forget when you get to the next room. We'll talk about that. Imaginary plagiarism. We find that in music and book publishing, where people, a musician or an author, uses someone else's material without knowing it. It's unconscious. And they have no idea that they did it, but there's a use for that in our Rolestorming program. The final 2 relate to voting for consensus and ownership, like privacy, not voting out loud, but doing it privately. And we end the series with the 4 pillars of Rolestorming, and I'll focus especially on Thrasos, the god of boldness. So, to summarize, brainstorming took us from the age of the spyglass, that pirate's tool for looking out long distances, and it took us to the binocular phase, so to speak. A good step, a good improvement. Rolestorming takes us from the age of the binocular to the age of the night vision goggle with those 4 lenses. So there are 3 reasons brainstorming is fading away a little bit and Rolestorming is ascending. One is that it takes fear down. 2 is that it takes the fun upward. And 3, it takes the focus and expands it. I'm Rick Griggs, and I hope you enjoy the series.
Your